In a tiny, cold room, a woman named Sarah stared at the person looking back at her in a small, cracked mirror. Her face was filled with panic and shame. Her hair, once a source of pride, was falling out in big clumps, leaving sore, bald patches on her head. The sight was a punch to her heart. This wasn't just about how she looked. In a world that already showed her so little respect, losing her hair felt like losing the very last piece of herself. It was the kind of rock bottom that feels like there is no ground left to stand on, only a deep, dark hole of sadness. To understand why this moment was so crushing, you have to know her world. Sarah was born in Louisiana to parents who had been enslaved. Life gave her no easy path. She was an orphan by the time she was 7 years old, left all alone to face a hard world. Just to have a roof over her head, she became a wife at 14. By 20, she was already a widow, holding a baby daughter in her arms. Her life was a long, hard road of struggle, with every day being a fight just to get by. Her daily fight took place over a washboard. Sarah was a laundress, a job that slowly broke her body and spirit. Imagine your hands, day after day, in steaming hot water, scrubbing clothes with harsh lye soap that burned your skin raw. This was her reality for more than 10 hours a day, and for all that back-breaking work, she earned a little over $1. This job was not a step up. It was a trap. It was a cage made of poverty and hard labor, and it seemed like there was no way out. But then, right when all hope felt lost, something truly amazing happened. One night, when she was about to give up, Sarah had a dream. It was a dream so real, it felt like a visit. In her dream, a big, kind man stood before her. He told her about a special mix of ingredients that could make hair grow strong and healthy. He named things from faraway Africa, things she had never heard of before. When Sarah woke up, the heavy feeling of sadness was gone. In its place was a tiny spark of something new. Hope. This was not just a dream. She felt it deep in her heart. This was a mission. Dreams are one thing, but taking action is everything. Sarah packed up the few things she owned, took her little daughter by the hand, and moved to Denver, Colorado. She arrived with only $1.50 in her pocket. Her tiny kitchen, once a place of worry, became her first laboratory. She started mixing oils and the special things from her dream. She was no longer just a laundress. She was a fighter, a scientist, and an inventor, all sparked by one powerful dream. Let's pause here for a second. Think about this. The biggest company started because one person had a problem they were desperate to fix. Madam C.J. Walker's story shows us a huge truth. Sometimes, the biggest challenges in our own lives are actually secret doors. They are not there to stop us. They are there to show us a new path we never would have found otherwise. Her struggle was not just a sad story. It was the key that unlocked everything. The very thing that caused her pain became the source of her greatest power. This is a lesson for all of us. The problems we face, the things that make us feel small or hopeless, might just be pointing us toward our real purpose. Your rock bottom can be the solid ground you need to build your dream. Now she had a product, a little jar of hope she called Madam C.J. Walker's Wonderful Hair Grower. But how does a poor washerwoman sell a dream? She went door to door, knocking on the doors of other black women, women who knew her struggle because it was their struggle too. She carried her product in a small case, but she was really carrying a revolution. She didn't just hand them a jar and ask for money. That was not her way. Instead, she would sit with them in their kitchens. She would show them exactly how to use her product. She listened to their stories, their hopes, and their worries. She connected with them, heart to heart, showing them that she cared about them, not just about a sale. With every home she visited, she wasn't just selling a hair product. She was selling something much bigger. She was selling dignity. She was selling pride. She was selling the idea that they deserved to feel beautiful and powerful. Each sale was a small victory, A little spark of hope passed from one woman to another, starting a fire that would soon spread across the country. This is where her idea gets truly huge. She quickly realized she could not knock on every door herself. The need was too big, and her dream was growing even bigger. She understood that her own success meant nothing if she did not lift others up with her. So, she made a brave and brilliant choice, a choice that would change thousands of lives. She started training other women to be her sales agents. These were not just employees. They became walker agents, an army of unstoppable women dressed in crisp white shirts and black skirts. She gave them a way to earn their own money, a way to be in charge of their own lives when so many doors were closed to them. She was not just building a company, she was building a community of leaders. Now let's look at how big this really got, because the numbers are amazing. Her army of agents grew and grew until there were over 20,000 women. These walker agents were working across the United States and even in the Caribbean. They were not just selling a product, they were spreading a message of self-respect and economic freedom. Madam Walker used the money she earned to build her dream even bigger. She built her own huge factory in Indianapolis to make all of her products. This meant she was in control of everything. She did not have to depend on anyone else. She was the boss, creating jobs and opportunity in her community. And she didn't stop there. She opened a beauty school to train her agents, teaching them not just about hair care, but about business. She opened salons in major cities like New York. From a single desperate dream in her kitchen, she built a real, powerful empire that you could see and touch, an empire built on helping other women rise. Here is the beautiful part of her amazing win. Madam Walker did not just keep all the money for herself. Her victory became a victory for thousands of other people because she became one of the biggest givers of her time. She used her money to build a better world. She paid for students to go to black colleges, giving them a chance she never had. She fought for the rights of all people to be treated fairly. She once famously said, "I got my start by giving myself a start. And now, for the big moment." The little girl born in a tiny shack in Louisiana, the orphan who was alone at 7 years old, the laundress who scrubbed other people's clothes for pennies, became a millionaire. Think about that. She did not get the money from her family. She did not marry a rich man. She earned every single dollar through her own hard work and smart ideas. She built a beautiful, grand mansion in New York, right near the Rockefellers, some of the richest people in America. This house was more than just a home. It was a bright, shining light for the whole world to see. It was a powerful message that a black woman who started with absolutely nothing could rise to the very top through her own strength and spirit. Madam C.J. Walker's story is not just about hair products. It is a map that shows the way to win. It is a guide for anyone who feels stuck at the bottom. Her journey proves that it does not matter where you start. It does not matter if you have no money, no help, and no one who believes in you. The power to change everything is not outside of you. What other people think about you does not have to be your story. Her life shows that the biggest, strongest power for your own comeback is already inside your heart, waiting for you to use it. The most important lesson is this: if you find a problem that you are willing to solve, first for yourself and then for others, you have found the key that can unlock any door and break any chain. Her life is a call to action for every one of us. It asks a simple question: what problem can you solve? What comeback are you ready to build? Your journey from rock bottom to unstoppable begins with that one brave choice.